to it.
Plus, this is a banked episode.
Yeah.
For probably like, I don't know, Easter or something.
So if it sucks,
yeah, we can just burn it.
Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday, always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And not together.
And I'm Dave.
And this week, we are going back to the Wolf Journal, banking an episode between guests. Yeah, Dave, we've been spoiled recently.
Yeah, we haven't had to deal with your high school shtick.
Yeah.
High school schlock. High school... I'm trying to think of the Yiddish word for poop, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Anyway, we should probably get into the realm of poetry. We've been talking a lot before. Yeah, I guess. Do you have a poem?
I do.
Oh, great. Good.
I would like you to know that today I sat down to write a poem, and instead of writing one, I wrote 4.
Whoa.
And the best part is, I wrote 4 poems in the time it normally takes me to write one, so you know the quality is there.
Now, are you sharing all 4, or are you gonna, like this episode?
No, I'm only sharing one. Are you kidding me?
Okay, great. Good.
I am not willing to overload our audience with my genius. I would worry that my being so incredible would destroy their minds. Like Alanis Morissette at the end of Dogma, speaking and destroying an angel with her voice as the Almighty.
Spoilers for
a movie that came out, like 28 years ago.
So
whatever.
My question for you is, you have 4 poems at your disposal. Are you going to share them in order of worst to best, or best to worst?
Nope.
Okay.
I feel like it's authentic to myself to share them in the order that I wrote them and not change quality or anything else.
Or on the scale we invented with Reagan, suck to blow.
Suck to blow. I mean, that is accurate for my poetry. Okay. This poem is called Shallow in Thought. As I sit and think, my fingers glide through my beard, gently searching for an answer, scratching for truth, twisting up what is correct. What do I find? Only a pretentious look on my face. I feel like the chewing is really selling the poem here. Oh God, that one was weird. Oh, you know that, like, in Foley art, one of the common ones for breaking a bone when they're making sound is crunching lettuce. Celery or lettuce.
Yep.
That sounded exactly like Aaron wanted to get out of talking about this poem so bad he just held up his arm and snapped it in half.
Yep. Oh, look at the time. I broke my
Oh no, look at my bone.
No, I was just chewing on your words there, Dave.
Oh my gosh, I hate you. I fundamentally hate you.
We have hit Dave's breaking point. It was you're continuing your genre of autobiographical. I assume you're not placing the I in as a fictional other.
Although I would say that this is also a vision out. Because when you watch TV or movies and you see someone stroking their beard deep in thought, now that I have a beard and do that on occasion, I understand how pretentious they look when they do it. And then I think, oh man, I must look just as, if not more pretentious than they look now. That's not great.
So we got some self-reflection.
Yes, of course.
I like how you said the turning up, though. You don't have really the mustache for that.
If I put some wax in it, I think I could.
Not only have my ears been harmed, but now my eyes.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Let's divert focus.
No, let's return the favor and damage my ears now.
Yeah. Dave.
No.
Yeah, we're back to a word that I thought we had completely examined, parsed.
Truth, life, death,
No, this is
skibbity toilet.
back to a collection of poems that were so similar in nature. We actually called it a collection.
Yikes.
Do you remember?
I'm working on forgetting.
Okay.
Aaron.
You compared it to a perfume back in season 1.
Okay.
This is a compliment to the Obsession collection.
Oh. Calvin Klein, Obsession. Dear listeners, this week we are brought to you by Calvin Klein Obsession, found at every Macy's or Herberger's that isn't closed.
Found in the open mouths of passersby.
In the gaping maw of horror and terror.
Perfume samples. Anyway, this is a poem that is untitled. But I mean, like, again, I feel like this collection of poems that we're examining post the anthologies is clearly reminiscent of the first anthology. I think these were being written as I was typing up the first one because they seem similar in theme and in style, and they just stink.
So rather than editing anything that you wrote, you just wrote a different terrible poem.
Yes.
Cool.
Not even
Very
worth
cool.
typing up. Yeah. So here we go. I think it fits well within the Obsession collection back in season 1. So you're welcome for anyone who still has nightmares from that.
Dear listeners, I'm raising my hand, just so you know.
Yeah. Yes, Dave. Oh, you still have nightmares.
I'm just saying I still have nightmares.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, apologies in advance. Love is the obsession of the heart, in which the mind is overcome by an emotion too pure to process fully. To experience it is the greatest gain, to lose it is the greatest loss. When all earthly things fall away, love remains. Love must be shared, for without a mutual love, love is painful. A sore that cannot be removed or treated. I want a mutual love.
So, Aaron, this is not news to you, but the Greek word splachna means guts. And, like, you talk about feeling things in your splachna. And, like, that can be somewhat translated to heart in modern languages, but this one is really hitting me right in the splachna, but not in an emotional way, but in the way that I'm not sure if I need to vomit or if I need to just rush to the restroom for another reason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We haven't even gotten to the good or garbage, but you're coming up with, yeah. Okay. So sick to the stomach is a response one could have to this poem.
Dear listeners, I think I finally hurt him.
I
think he's actually upset. Yes, I did it.
No, this one's just, what was I doing here?
I don't know.
Like, I'm doing like the definition thing
Yeah.
that I thought we'd gotten over. Love is all this crap.
Yeah.
And then
love is all this crap. That's a better poem than this one.
And then I get into this, I get to an I want statement at the end, which seems to indicate that since I want a mutual love, but I don't have that, I am
No.
experiencing a painful sore that cannot be treated or remedied.
I'm a little sad that I didn't read one of my other poems because it was making fun of people who use tautologies, like
Ooh.
repeating a concept.
Okay.
And I would say mutual love is a tautology.
Say
Like
more.
a one-sided love is obsession or stalkery. You know? Like, imagine the things you do in a loving relationship, and if it's only a one-sided relationship, that is creepy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, oh yeah, I'm doing the dishes for my spouse or my partner. I'm doing the dishes for this person who doesn't know I'm in love with them.
I just happened to also break into their home to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great.
So you're saying that the term love outside of mutual love isn't love at all?
I would say it can't be, because it falls short of what I would define love as.
Well, then could you ever do a loving act towards a stranger?
Now that's an interesting question.
I suppose if the stranger willingly benefits from it and accepts it as a loving act, that is an act of love. Whereas the type of romantic, the type of love erotic, yeah, if we're
No, Aaron.
platonic,
No, say it correctly. Erotic.
I don't want to.
You're welcome.
But the type of love that this poem is examining, that is understood in a romantic sense, that outside of mutual love is not love.
Well, and that is probably the bigger issue here, is that there is no way to define love that fits all cases in which love is used.
That's why the Greeks and stuff had multiple words for it.
Although those weren't actually as defined as most people would say, even though most pastors use that for wedding sermons. And I have done that in the past, and I hate myself for it.
Yep. Philos versus agape versus eros. It's just, it's easy to do.
Yeah. It sounds nice.
It does.
But that's the problem, is that, you know, love in English can be defined as love between a married couple. It can also be defined as between me and a pizza.
Or obsession of the heart. If one were to take this definition to heart, what I just heard you say is that, in fact, you're going back on what you said and you're accepting this as a true definition of love. Because
no, I'm saying this is a terrible definition, but my definition was also incorrect. It was only for a specific type of love for my definition. But I still, for some reason, I think I'm more correct than you, because I'm better.
Much like this poem, I don't know if I'm following that logic, but
yeah, that's fair.
One of my favorite things is I have this: to experience it is the greatest gain. That's fine. I kind of whatever. To lose it is the greatest loss. That was painful to read because it's like lose and loss. I couldn't think of a better word or no. But it's not even a perfect parallel, because to experience it, you're gaining. To lose it is not necessarily the same as an experience of. Right.
Well, and I like the idea of experiencing love in that way, that it is not a state of being. It is more a continuation. It's a thing that happens and a thing that continues to happen, but not to be.
Right.
So then to lose it is just like, well, then you undid the interesting thing.
Yeah. It's the absence of an experience, which could be returned. I don't know. Hello, phone.
Sorry, I just got a very important update from Venmo. You know, important stuff here. Yeah.
Speaking of Venmo, this feels very transactional.
I, honest to goodness, thought that was an ad pivot, and I thought, who the heck is going to sponsor this crap?
No.
Speaking of Venmo, I'd like to talk to you about the Venmo credit card.
Here's my account. Please send money. But,
Please.
but the way in which I talk about in this poem, love being must be shared and love being lost, and it doesn't feel like that. We've talked about this before, like healthy kind of love. It feels very much like if I pour out my heart and soul to you, I deserve that reciprocity. I deserve otherwise this beautiful love is actually just like a pussy sore that I cannot that I cannot lance without your
without your extractor and number 2 blade.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that is interesting to pick apart just because
the pussy sore?
Sorry, no. The transactional understanding of love versus a mutualistic understanding of love, because it is a very fine line.
True.
Like if I do something for you as a symbol of love, I expect it back because of how our love works or because of what I think I deserve. Like there's a fine maneuvering of language, which I think it can't really give a solid definition to. It mostly comes down to like the contextual or the connotation rather than denotation.
Ooh, man, you're just dropping all kinds of fancy words there.
Oh yeah, I know stuff.
But no, that's a great fine line. That would be a much more interesting examination in a poem between creepy transactional, toxic transactional, I give, you must give back, versus an expectation of a mutual love.
Yeah, of reciprocity.
There is a give and take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I would love to see that as a poem, like, from the perspective of a creepy high schooler not understanding that kind of relationship, but over the course of a poem gaining that understanding.
Yeah, I'm thinking it has been done.
Right, there has to. I'm trying to think through what I've read.
Well, what first comes to mind is, and it's not from one person's perspective, but Gautier's Used to Know, somebody that I used to know. That one has that, like, why can't we be friends? And then the other person comes back and was like, you were creepy and toxic. Yeah. And so that conversation, but I think scratches.
You didn't have to shut me out.
Maybe for the sake of their emotional well-being.
They had to. Oh, it's almost like people get to self-determine.
Autonomy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But what about the sad boy who does want a mutual love? Doesn't the sad boy deserve mutual? I don't. Oh God! No. I don't want to go too far into that because that's so much edgelordy crap.
Right?
Not even joking about that felt bad.
Everybody deserves mutual love, but they have to eventually find it themselves. I hate that if you want to love someone, you have to first love yourself, because I don't actually find that to be true, because I've hated myself for a very long time and I'm working through it in therapy and with medication, but I've been married longer than I've been doing that. But I think there's something honest about that, recognizing kind of the humanness of relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm crawling up my own butt in philosophy here. Like, hey, I don't know enough.
This is great, because normally I'm the one who's just like philosophizing to fill time.
Yeah.
I think we've parsed this enough.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go give some blood.
I do. There we go. This week's podcast is actually brought to you by the American Red Cross. Make sure you're giving blood as often as you can. They are currently experiencing a shortage, and you can save lives.
Always experiencing a shortage.
Always. So please give blood.
Sorry for their homophobic past.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Donate blood, though.
Yeah, donate blood if you can.
If you can.
Yeah. Dave, I have no transition here. Good or garbage?
Well, for some reason I have this on the mind, but in your body, an embodied kind of love, your red blood cells carry oxygen to your cells and make sure that they are running properly. They carry nutrients to your cells. Blood is such an important part of your body, so make sure you donate blood if you can. But also, they are great at removing the waste from your cells. And I feel like this is another embodied form of love. This is the red blood cells carrying this absolute poop just away from all of your cells so that you can, again, either excrete it orally or the other way.
That was disgusting.
I think the best part of it was Aaron was eating as I said that.
Yeah, you had to say discreet it? No.
Excrete.
Excrete it.
You must excrete discreetly your excrement, which was this poem. That was me blowing you a kiss.
I think most of this is going to the blooper reel.
If it doesn't, I'm sad.
Yeah. So we're going to end this week with the words of a true poet. This is Poem Not to Be Read at Your Wedding.
Nice.
By Beth and Fennelly.
Okay.
Here we go. You ask me for a poem about love in place of a wedding present, trying to save me money. For 3 nights I have lain under glow-in-the-dark stars. I've stuck to the ceiling over my bed. I've listened to the songs of the galaxy. Well, Carmen, I would rather give you your 3rd set of steak knives than tell you what I know. Let me find you some other store-bought present. Don't make me warn you of stars, how they see us from a distance as miniature and breakable, from the bride who tops the wedding cake to the Mary on Pinto dashboards holding her ripe red heart in her hands.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it so much. You're a poet. Just write something for my wedding. No, let me buy you steak knives.
Yes. It's like, please don't make me write about love. I love it. It's just the perfect attitude that my previous self should have had in this moment.
That's too good.
Yeah. Well, with that, this has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go write some of your own bad poetry.